Good evening, YouTubers. On night, it's the day after the full moon, but it is still pretty full, hanging pretty low in the sky. Okay, I don't know if any of you recognize this spot right off the bat. Get the light on here. This is the railroad tracks in Hogsback right off the bat. People keep dumping their trash here. I mean, man, you want to talk about frustrating and irritating me to no end. But we're going to start off. We've got to go over to the bridge. I haven't been back here in a while, and I wanted to check this out, and we'll probably go along the railroad tracks. I got eye shine in the back there. Get out onto the bridge more, because I could see something. And get over. We'll check the other side too. Okay, I gotta be careful because I'm like holding my camera over a bridge down into a creek, and if anything falls, which unfortunately does happen to me. So the thermal is not picking it up now. I don't know if you caught that, but I had eye shine there for a second. And this woods here, right over on this side, I've caught several deer over here before, even in like the daytime. So it's actually a cool night. A little hot spell's broken here. It's about 56 degrees right now. Again, it's pretty much a full moon hike, and I need your guys' help with this. This is interactive, okay? See something, hear something, I need you to say something. Drop it in the comments, okay? One of the things with trying to operate the two cameras, this thermal is very bright, kicking light back into my eyes, which kind of lessens my view. I don't know if the power tack is really, it's fully charged and I got a battery on it, but boy, it seems like, and maybe it's because the light shining into my eyes, but it doesn't seem all that bright to me tonight. And now I gotta carefully cross these tracks here, because this is, I don't know if you can see these are just open. They're railroad ties, but it's not easy to get across this. Okay, so bear with me. It's a little rough. I'm going to be careful with this. Okay. And then this way, there's actually like this little platform, which I can see has spiders all over it. Yummy, yummy. And we can check on this side. That's weird. The whole bridge just shook, like something's on it besides me. The only heat signature I'm picking up, that's my car. The distance over to the side is, this way is the Route 7 freeway. So it seems like I kind of have to rely on, when I'm using this thermal, because it's so bright shining back into my face, and I'll have to play around with settings and see if I can change that. The bridge just shook again. So I don't know if I got an angry troll walking underneath it or what. But I cannot see anything. This thermal can see pretty far down the creek. And I got the path that's over there lit up. Now this is the homeless area. So it's like, well, if you say, why aren't you walking this path? I do want to. I will in the future. However, I'm hearing a motorcycle there. Okay. Do want to walk back here in the daytime and talk to some of the homeless people, because I don't feel like being attacked at night by homeless people thinking I'm invading their turf. So I will do that in the future. So for now, I wanted to, last time we walked along these tracks, ended up having a weird thing happen with a skunk, and finding the dying skunk across the railroad tracks that wasn't there on the way there. I think I had interrupted something's hunt. That's the freeway noise, but boy, it sounds kind of close. So it's definitely creepy back here. I'm trying to see. I seen eye shine right when I first put that light over on that side, and it disappeared quick, and the thermal couldn't catch it. So, okay, this creepy railroad walk goes in this little valley on this little tributary of the Conneaut Creek back here. That's the Conneaut Creek over there that we were just standing over. And sorry, I do feel like the freeway traffic is going to come right behind me, is what it sounds like. You have this little, this is like a lone hill here, and it goes straight up about 70 feet, and on this side too. And dang, I'm hearing something from over there besides the freeway. Okay, so this walks in between the Hogsback Woods. Now, when I was at Indian Mound, I started hearing, after reviewing it, it's like it may have still been a bobcat. It may have been a Fisher cat, but it sounded like it was coming from over here somewhere. Okay. So I wanted to do, I initially wanted to do another hike. I wanted to do down at Bigfoot Canyon. Okay. And I went to go down there, and there was another vehicle down there, as if somebody was camping out down there. Because now, in preference, it is like, it's Thursday night, and it is, it's 11 o'clock at night. So, you're down there at this time for one reason. Either you're like me, who likes to do these little hikes, or you're camping out down there. Okay, that's really the only thing I can come up with. This is Welton Road, going through Hogsback, and let me tell you what, that is a creepy walk at night, going through there. And we may walk over there some, but for right now I'm gonna stick on the tracks. So there's some parts of Hogsback I wanted to kind of look into. I do want to do Hogsback hike. However, Hogsback is kind of the highlands. It's literally like shaped like the back of a hog's. There, it's the high ground above the Conneaut Creek. Okay. And so that means I got hill climbing to it's a steep climb up there, and it's a really steep climb out of there. And I want to have somebody with me to do that because of my current health conditions. So, and the hike that I wanted to do, like I said, I'm not going to go where I know I'm going to intentionally run into somebody. That area, Bigfoot Canyon, it's not owned. It's like Cleveland Natural History Museum, stuff like that. It's not the. It's just kind of where you can formal campground, but people camp back there. And it looks like that's what someone's doing. And they had a car that had beer cans all surrounding the car too. So I was kind of wondering, like, well, I don't feel like messing with that person. That's me kicking some stones that I want to try too. And a couple of these spots over here. I'm going to try to look in over here. This is in the Hog's Back. And so before I go taking one that could potentially be pretty rough on my body, I want to have some help with me till I'm able to get things back to being managed. I kind of got to not risk it. Okay, this is one of the spots up here. I say this is a pretty steep hill. Okay, so our heat signatures hotter. The hottest ones are in black. Okay, cooler in the white. And now I wore the mucks because I was intending on going to the other place along the Conneaut Creek, because these are clunky and would have been better off wearing different boots if I was going to stay along the railroad track. I didn't know that when I left. Okay. This is looking into the Hog's Back Woods, into the little valley there. And you say, well, why don't you go down this path? Oh, that's Randy's property. I didn't. Randy would probably not mind if I notified him first. But I did not, because again, this was impromptu. So before I go hiking onto other people's property, I'd rather them know about it, so they don't think, you know, it's like think that somebody's back here going to do something wrong and call the police on me. So it's Thursday night and it's late, but I can hear a crap ton of traffic. Now, Conneaut is not some major metropolis, okay? Or city that has, I think the population's close to 12,000 people. And that's only because they count the prison. That's 1,800 people. So there's literally like a little over 10,000 people who can freely roam around. Okay. So, and for some reason though, there's quite a bit of traffic going on. But I should hopefully move away from some of that sounds. we do go over the bridge, over this little stream. And now I know, kind of talking a lot, probably more than normal, but some of this I got to do some setup. I feel like I got some explaining to do, other than just pointing in areas and shutting up. Now, this looks like four-wheelers have went through here, and I know that's something Randy's had a problem with. It's dead quiet back here. Doggone moth. Sounds like a freaking giant Mothra there. Okay, so I got a cool little, I don't want to say toy, but I got this over in the hunting section at Dunham's. And I got a get away, Mothra. Jeez. I mean, it's like gargantuan. It's like a bird size trying to fly around me. Okay. So as I was going to say, I'll show it up here at the top. Okay. This is a little collar. It's called a rodent in distress collar. Okay. It's designed to call in predators like coyotes, wolves, bobcats, fisher cats, okay, and fox, all that are known to be around here. So I figure I'm going to sound off on this over here. I'll give it a few seconds, and then we'll check it out. And I'll keep moving, and then I'll be back this way. But we might as well set it off. Let's get a quick pan around so that you can see. I got nothing watching me that I can see. Okay. Let me see here so I do this right. Let me know what you thought of that call, first of all. And it's a hunter's tool. Okay, so we'll move on a little bit and we'll go over by the stream. Okay, so you're going to tell me what you thought of that call, and I got to tell you some of what I did today playing around with that. Because I got that, I seen that, I'm like, I went, you know, this might be interesting to use on my hikes. So I said, let me test this out on some domestics. Okay. Now this is the little stream that goes into Hogsback. I'm trying to look intently through both here to check this out. And I'm not seeing anything. Okay. I gotta watch because these boards there's gaps in them. Okay. It's not the most sturdiest bridge. Okay. This is the other side of the stream. That's really Welton Road that we cross there, winds and goes up on top of this ridge on this side, and runs along there. There's some houses over there, and as we get down the road a little bit, there's some more houses. Okay, so a little bit, I wanted to test this out. See, it's like, well, will this work? Okay. And so I have two wonderful cats at home. They're indoor cats, but I had all the windows open. So I went in the backyard, belted that out a few times, and both of my cats, man, they jumped up from their naps and they're both looking out the windows trying to figure out what. And I come inside and they're both talking up a storm to me, going, what the heck was that? And, it was really like, so it worked. Okay, definitely worked. So then I went over to visit the Perduncan today. Now the Perduncan has 4 dogs. Now usually, because he has security cameras and he has 4 dogs, they hear me pull into the driveway. Well, whatever they were doing, none of them heard me, which was odd. But I see he has just a screen door open, he has the big door open. And so I get out in the driveway and I belt that out in the driveway and scared the hell out of all 4 of his dogs and him. But his dogs were like activated, like they, it's like a distress call. So they were really looking. So then when my wife got home, I had to do that call to her while my daughter ran interference, knowing what the call was. Okay. My wife heard it and thought there was a distressed animal and came running out looking for it. So it definitely fooled my wife. Okay. Yeah. I thought that thing I was hitting on was but it's not really that warm that it's hitting on. But I can't tell. You'd think that, because it's not really reading that hot. Again, temperature is around 56. So there's still hotter things that will read in the 60s. Usually life forms will read 70 degrees or above in weather like this. Okay. So my plan was to go to Bigfoot Canyon and do that. Okay. But again, I don't feel like running into some drunken campers. So, and I'm just not up for climbing 80 to 100 foot cliffs that are they're pretty steep. Because I mean, look at like what you see right here, this valley. This is Hogsback, and this is what the hills are like on this. Okay, and when you have 7 vertebrae damaged in your back, plus some damaged knees, damaged shoulder that's activated, everything's working kind of acting up right now, and so is my breathing problems, because now, thanks to Afghanistan and Iraq, I do have asthma. Okay, and there's a lot of allergies in the air right now, or allergens, and that's creating some breathing problems when you hear the deep sighs or deep breaths. That's from the breathing problems that I have. It's not that I'm bored with you guys, because I can say I'm most definitely not. And so I had someone suggest, why don't you just go get a chair and go out in the woods and just sit there for hours and just video it. And well, I could do that, but anybody who knows me knows I'm not really even when I'm hurting, I'm not this kind of sit still type of person. I can't stand to sit still for that long anyway. Picking up stuff on the side of the track that's running 70 plus, and I can't see what it is that's creating the heat. So there are some stone structures that will retain the heat, even though, like I said, we're approaching 11:30 at night. That's the stream over there. These got to be something man-made that I'm looking at that's getting on with the heat. And these railroad tracks are a little rough, because they're not really that well. They do the minimum amount of maintenance on these. And I'm not saying I haven't missed any of the trains coming down here. This is not far from where I live. I definitely haven't heard them. So I don't think there's been many that have been running up and down here. Yeah, I think that's another bridge that I'm catching that heat from. Yeah, it is. I see off to the right here, it looks like another four-wheeler trail. And I know, like I say, that's running on the Randy's property, and all that flips him out when they do that. And he has put up trail cams that activate his phone when someone comes on those. And he does call the police if somebody's trespassing. Okay, so we'll check over this bridge. Okay. The stream kind of runs along these railroad tracks for miles. Big tree down there. I'm trying to get a good angle of this without dropping my camera. last time I did this, I had the skunk. First it sprayed, and I was hearing some noise in the woods. Couldn't see anything. Didn't have the thermal then. And on the way back, found that skunk twitching and dying on the side of the road, or on the railroad there, track. So that full moon definitely gives me a little more light. Got some standing water there. Yesterday we had like some downpours. Thunder and lightning, all that fun stuff. Ooh, we got eye shine. What do we have here? I can see it on both. What are you? I cannot light him up any further. That's some sort of critter over there though. And it looks like he is alone. So what do you say? If I can find it here, rummaging through that. Let me blow my little distress signal and let's see what this is. If it's a deer, and he's not going to react the same way as if it's a predator. Ooh, it didn't like that, it's moving. And I caught a little bit of it on there. I'm going to have to review that because that did not look like a deer. But I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I'll have to review the video to catch that. But it didn't like that. And I don't know. I can't tell what it was though. Camera back. So we catch something moving, and it took off, and I could see the shape a little bit. Now, granted, this one of the challenges of this thermal is the screen is half the size of my iPhone 14. I mean, maybe not half. It's darn close, though. It's about probably, we'll say it's 3/4 the size of my iPhone screen, and I have the iPhone 14 Pro, the large one. Okay. So there's a challenge on that of seeing the stuff in the great detail. That's why I do gotta keep panning to the sides, because I mean, straight ahead of me is the railroad tracks. You know, and again, I did read instructions with that, but I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. I didn't check out a YouTube video on it to make sure I'm calling right on that, and so again, I just got the thing today, and you know, I'm like I guess would you say, a typical man. I glance at the instruction and then start playing with the thing, and did read the instructions of saying some of the types of noises to make, did not read the instructions in full though. So if I did it wrong, and you know how a little bit more how to do that, then drop that in the comments. I'm willing to take that type of criticism on that. Okay. Now I'm about probably close to 2 miles from I-90. Boy, can I hear the traffic though tonight, because it is dead silent. And it is, despite the moon, and there's like not a cloud in the sky, it's really dark. And I am going to try to pan into the trees. I have no idea, like, if this thing will work on picking up large birds. I heard a sound this way. Again though, you see this thing definitely catches stuff, but it does. It's not all encompassing. It's not all catching. Okay. Because it will catch things. But you can hide from this still. And someone asked me if it was military grade, and my response to him was, we have a difference of opinion what military grade means. Okay, I spent 20 years and 7 months in the military. When I hear the term military grade, I cringe. I think of something that is overpriced, cheap crap that is going to break really quickly. Not going to be that durable. It's going to claim it, but it sure ain't going to live up to its claims. Alright, we're down here a little ways. I think we can turn back, because then we can maybe walk on the Welton Road. Okay. So, for answering that guy's questions, I sure as the heck hope it isn't military grade. I think I paid better than that. I'm hoping I did. But, of course, everything has the Bidenomics Build Back Better price on it right now, which means it's jacked up about 25% from what it was before he took office. Thank you to FJB. We're paying, yes, we're paying a lot more for things to get pretty much the, you know, if something cost $100 in 2019, it's today costing $125, and it's the same, would be the same quality. So, and it seems like there's almost no area of our country not affected by that. Some places are worse. And some of the places, you know, like that Maryland, Virginia area around D.C., where there's the highest percentage of government jobs, they don't feel this stuff as much, but they're even feeling it some. But out here in Ohio, we'll land at the Democrat Party. I just heard a stick break over here. The Democrat Party calls flyover country. That's something moving up here. Now there's no breeze. Democrat Party calls this area flyover country because it's not worth stopping. It's only some that they wave at high up in the air as they're flying between the East Coast and New York and DC areas over to the LA San Francisco side, the left coast. And yes, it's called the left coast for a reason. Incidentally, left coast is where Rio Linda is, which if you run into anyone from Rio Linda, speak really slow and clear, and you may have to still repeat yourself. Okay, so we want to cover some things. YouTube does not like certain words, languages, or items shown. Okay, so I kind of rarely show you because of some of the things I'm carrying. I rarely show you my face. And if I do, I try to keep it high and where it's hard to tell some of the things I'm carrying. Okay, so from now on, we have a different term for if you ask if I have self-defense. Yes, I do. I have 2 wireless hole punchers with me. Okay, I just heard something there. Okay, I have 2 wireless hole punchers with me. Okay. I have a 10mm wireless hole puncher. It's a big one. And a 9mm wireless hole puncher. Okay. And we hope that nothing needs any holes punched into them. But I am capable of doing that. Okay. I'm trying to position this without getting the glare from the metal pole, and trying to position this where I make sure none of my camera things fall off of my selfie stick. That would be bad. That would wreck my day. Darn quiet. Be quiet for a little bit and just try to listen, because it is dead quiet tonight. Okay, something else that I did get that I didn't bring with me to test out, but will be in future videos. I brought a thing that's supposed to be a deer collar, and I have to play around it and read the instructions a little more, because right now it sounds more like a duck collar. But it does say it's gonna pick them up, and it says how to get the different types, you know, does, fawn, and bucks. I'm tripping over these railroad tracks. As you can see from the sign up here, I'm heading west. This is along the CN Railroad tracks, which not very much, not used a whole lot. I think that was me, but still, I can hear the stream running. This side's a really high cliff. So I can hear a train on one of the other tracks. And wouldn't that be a kick in the pants? If one did come down here, like I haven't seen one in a while, but we had a ship just in. I still like recording the ships. I just, unfortunately, the last few, they like to come into dock at like 4 in the morning. And I at no time, now that I'm retired, like to be up at 4 in the morning. Okay. Now, in my working days, 4 in the morning used to be the wake-up time. Okay, but that's long gone. I'm still up at about 6:30 every day, which is still very early. I don't like it, but I have to get up to do things. So, not to mention I have a lot of difficulties with sleeping. Now I hear 2 trains. Okay, so we got one on the Norfolk and Western, and the CSX. The CSX is the louder, fast-moving one. The slower moving, which would be closer and probably a little louder ones, will be the will be the Norfolk and Western. And there may be, as a crow flies, a mile and a half from the Norfolk and Western tracks, and 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles from the CSX ones. And as you can hear, that's still really loud. Again, things didn't go as planned. And I wanted to be in that place that me and Perduncan call Bigfoot Canyon, okay? But I have to do that with these hikes. I many times have to come up with an on-the-spot alternative. That's one of the reasons, one of the ways you know there is not a staged thing with this. Is that this is that little bridge. You know, it sounds like I'm hearing some stuff like over top of the railroad sounds, but I can't tell for sure. It may just be. It's where I was hearing whispering there. Which most definitely has me, because I swear that sounded like someone talking. Okay, so this is back where I did the call. And since I did the call there, I'm going to have to come back here and look. Let me know what you think of that call. Whether I should do that more, whether I should not do it at all, or do it before I'm on, before I start the camera and not on camera. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm learning I'm not a professional at that. Bear that in mind. I will start to look at some stuff and see if I can get better. We got nothing. Nothing but bugs. Now I do gotta say, with some of the back pain I'm having, maybe the railroad tracks wasn't the best choice. But it's too beautiful of a night not to go hike somewhere. I just did Indian Mound Park, and I've just done most of the other spots that are close by. The Center Road Bridge I've done. And same thing with Friends of Conneaut Creek. Hatchett's Corner. I just did all of these. So I wanted to try to vary this up a little bit. And I'm telling you, not only, look at the X there. I know cameraman Jack and crew, I send them a picture of this, they're definitely going to think that's something. I don't know whether it is or not. Drop it in the comments if you think this X is something. It may or may not be. For me, jury's out on that. I don't know. I can tell you about some of the activity that's happened in this area that is of creepy things. So I can tell you that's happened around here. So I can't say that it's nothing. I'm sorry, I gotta do a 6 check because I just feel weird. Okay. So again, that X may be something and it may be nothing. Again, where I'm at with that is I'm on the fence, I guess. I think it could be something, but I feel like I don't know enough. I've heard cameramans and crew, their opinions, when they've seen those, they've had several different weird things happen around them. Okay. And they're a bit more experienced at this than me. I look at it and I can say, with my untrained eyes, I can't see anything. Okay. But that's just it. They've done this more. They've literally have been through some hairier situations than what I have too. Alright, there's sticks on the railroad that I about busted my rear end on. Okay, we're getting back up towards Welton Road here. Next to my car, which is, I'm thinking, I want to walk at least onto, I'm hearing stuff. Somebody's got a radio playing up there. At least that's what it sounds like. Okay, so I wanted to walk onto this little bridge of the Hogsback Stream. I don't know if it has an official name, but that's pretty much what we've called it, as Hogsback Stream or Hogs Run. And I know I've said this before. I know we got a lot of new listeners. This bridge, why this bridge is significant. First of all, you're walking through, there is 100-foot high cliffs, and this is literally a valley. The road cutting through a valley. But this bridge in particular, and I'm going to tell a story here on this. In 1985, I think it was, it might be 1986, a long time ago. It's a dear friend of mine, and he's a solid muscle. Was driving down this road with his dad in the winter time. His dad was driving, and it was a bad storm. When they came over to this bridge, he lost control of the vehicle and fell. The truck, the two of them in it, I'm sorry, I'm getting noises over here, fell 15 feet down. So just so you're wondering, that's 15 feet right there, going down there. And the truck hit on its side. Now my friend, who had this thick muscular neck, very good athlete, he was a little hurt from it, but he got up and he tried shaking his dad. His dad was gone, didn't make it. It snapped his neck. Snapped his neck. The only reason his neck didn't snap is because his neck was like one giant muscle. And so his dad died, sadly and tragically, right here in this very spot. And I want to say it was the winter time of 85. After that happened, and some other snow, they wanted to plow this more, and one of the snow plows tipped over here. Injured the crew, but they didn't die. So after that, from this hill up there over to Route 7, during the winter months, they close it completely. No maintenance and no driving through. Now, they will leave it open, like if there's not snow, you can still kind of cut around the signs, but it's at your own peril, because they literally do not check this bridge in the winter time. They come check the bridge in the springtime after the winter's over. This is Hog's Back up here, and again, it's 100 feet up from me. We're going to walk down here a little bit. I thought I was catching some eye shine, but I think that might be the moon on the other side of the woods. Okay. There's the sign saying no motor vehicles. Okay. Okay, and this is the other side. And it's this high hill that's straight up, and it's kind of like a lone mountain. It's like different from here. I just can't believe how my light does not seem to want to shine through the darkness over here. So we're going to go back. I want to go back and check that bridge, the railroad bridge, one last time. I get to share some of the history of this place and its creepiness. Now, when you look at this, some more history here, where all this stuff is, and why it says no vehicles down here, is because this used to be a road, and back in there used to be an ice house. Before the days of refrigeration, the city of Conneaut's ice was made here, and they shipped it out by horse and buggy in a cooling carriage, and took the ice, cut in these giant blocks, and they took it to houses and delivered it. Hence the term, the appliance was called an ice box. Now we still refer to our freezers as ice box, but it's an antiquated term from back prior to the days of the electric refrigerations and actual refrigerators and freezers. So the people up there must be jamming their music. It's not the weekend yet, but it's gonna be. Tomorrow's the start of Memorial Day weekend. Okay, and this hill is like straight up. I last climbed this thing in 2019 with my daughter and one of my friends, literally having to carry them up there and down. It was actually quite a sight. Okay, alright, I'm trying to fill with my camera because it seems to want to come loose, because I do actually have a homemade contraption of what I'm holding this on. That's some of the Route 7 traffic noise. I'm going to look down into this valley a little bit. Again, unfortunately, even on this hill, there's a bunch of those ore pellets. And that's kind of a difficult climb. I mean, in the daytime when you can see stuff, it's a little easier. At nighttime and with a healthy back, it's still going to be a little slippery. At nighttime with a bad back, it's probably not a good idea. So I do apologize to you, because there's some better areas I want to take you along. And again, I had a good hike in mind and planned, and the plans were changed, altered, beyond my control. It's weird how this bridge shakes. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like PowerTech, even though I have it plugged in, it's lasting, but it seems like it's not as bright. I try to dip this a little low to see over top of this, because it's not really. Okay, so what we're going to do, because PowerTech does not seem to want to perform well, is we'll hit this one. And we'll hit the backup. You can see over here, that's where Hogs Run, or Hogs Creek, whatever you want to call it, stream. That's where it goes into the Conneaut Creek. That's what I was following along these tracks. Just around the bend is the Cole Walker Bridge. Okay. So this, I hate having to have the hands tied up. Boy, can I see a lot better. I'm going to have to do about this. The PowerTech, I'm going to have to get a better one. Now I have the thermal is on top of the regular camera, so I am actually trying to dip it. You know what, I'm going to look with the camera first. And now we're going to try to dip it and look with more with the thermal. Okay. That hill up there, this Daniels Avenue, is at the top of that. I'm sorry, I said Daniels, I meant Welton. Again, I'm hearing noises on this bridge. So, I don't know if the angry troll's on here, but he ain't allowed to touch me. Okay. So, alright. Full moon night. And I'm going to turn that off. Conneaut Creek and Hogs Back. You guys got to tell me what you think of it. Caught a couple things that I can see that I was able to catch, and some weird noises like that. And I'm sorry I couldn't get to a better area for you guys. Coming up next week, I have doctor's appointments that should help me get better and improve from this. What I'm told is no, I won't ever recover, but I can maintain things. And right now, unfortunately, things are not maintained well. Let's check over here. Let's see if we can... There's usually a lot of deer over here. I gotta watch my step, as you see. Oh, and that's what I'm